In this video, I'm going to go through surface area of a sphere. So you should have watched the other video first because it goes through, it's another video, the YouTube video of somebody showing you where the formula comes from. So when you click on this, it takes you to the formula and it shows you that it ends up the surface area of any sphere. So if you peel off like the leather of a basketball, it would be equal to 4 circles because pi r squared is one circle, and so we just have 4 of them. Think of 4 circles that have the same size radius. Then we put those all together, add them all up, and it would equal the surface area of a sphere, just depending on how big it is. So with that, we can practice finding surface area for pi r squared and just plug in the radius. So 4 pi times 25. And then you can multiply these two numbers together to get the exact answer of 100 pi centimeters squared. But then we can pull up our calculator to do the work. 100 pi should be 314.159. So depending on where we need to round, let's just say 314 to the nearest whole number. Okay, so then another example, let's write that down, about 314 square centimeters. Another problem, this is where we know two things about a sphere now. We know the volume is 4/3 pi r cubed, and we know surface area 4 pi r squared. So I'm going to give you problems combining both of those. You know the volume is 36 pi, so we're going to plug that in for V into this formula, and then we have to solve this for R. And so the way we want to do that is divide both sides by pi, and then multiply by the reciprocal. That cancels out. 3/4 times 4/3 is 1. So those all cancels out. But I have to do 36 times 3/4. So then I can pull up my calculator. 36 times 3, and then divide by 4 is 27. Whoa, what happened? 27. Uh-oh, I'm losing my pen here. So 27 equals r cubed, and now I'm thinking what times what times what equals 27, and that would be 3. So Beast Mode Calculator can do this pretty easily. You go to Math, and then option 4 is the cube root. Then you type in the number that you want the cube root of, and voila, 3. So now we can plug in 3 into our surface area formula to answer the question. 4 pi times 3 squared, and so that's 3 squared is 9 times 4 is 36 pi cubic meters. So surface area would be square meters, so that would be exact. Or we can go to the calculator and it gives us about 113.09. So I'd probably have you round to 1 decimal place, which would be 113.1 square meters. Now a little bit of variation on this problem. Back at the beginning when we canceled out the pi's, I could give you I could actually give you this volume as just a whole number. So let's say 36 pi. Actually, it's kind of interesting. What we just figured out here is that the surface area and the volume ended up being the same thing. Because 36 pi is 113.1. Okay, which is a little bit weird. It's kind of a coincidence. This isn't always the case that they're the same. This is kind of the magic number of the radius where they end up being the same. So let's say I gave you this number at the beginning and I said the volume equals 113.1. Find the surface area. So what we would have to do, instead of plugging in 36 pi, we plug in 113.1 and set that equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. And we need to still solve this for r, but now it's a little bit harder because the pi has nothing to cancel with. So we actually have to divide by pi first to get rid of it, and then just do on your calculator 113.1 divided by pi, and it's going to be pretty close to 36. So most of you are probably going to write down 36 equals 4/3 pi r cubed. And now we can, not pi, we canceled that out. Now we can multiply by the reciprocal like we did before. 36 times 4/3 is equal to r cubed. And we just did that over here. 36 times 3/4 is 27. And then we can take the cube root and see that r is 3. So just a little bit different version of the same problems. Look out for, if I give you the volume in terms of pi, then the first thing you want to do is cancel out pi, or sort of ignore it, as I've been saying. But if I give it to you like this, as a whole number, not in terms of pi, or sorry, this isn't a whole number, but if it's just a number without the pi symbol, then you have to divide that by pi like I did in this step. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.